Hi guys, welcome back to Informed Beauty. I'm incredibly excited to share with you a different kind of video. So today I will be doing a tutorial on this makeup look that I have right now. So this is about the makeup look that I had for my engagement photo shoot. So I thought that it would be nice to do another tutorial. I've only done one tutorial before and it was my very first one. It was really long. I'm going to try and really cut down on the time in this one and utilize my computer software skills, or not so much my computer software skills, but utilize the program that I have for editing my videos and actually try out a voiceover as well. So I'm really excited to share this with you. If you're interested in these kinds of videos, please like and subscribe. And without much further ado, go ahead and enjoy my tutorial.
Fresh faced and ready to go. So first off, I use my Neutrogena Moisture Oil-Free SPF 30 Facial Moisturizer, and I put it all over my face, and that's something that I do every single morning. And then next, I always use my ST.Ives Timeless Skin Collagen Elastin Facial Moisturizer, and that I just put under my eyes and over my eyelids. I also use that all over my face at night because I don't use my SPF cream before bed. I do find my eyelids are quite dry, so I do find moisturizer helps. Next, I use my Essence I Love Color Intensifying Eyeshadow Base Primer. This has been doing a pretty good job for me. I do have quite oily eyelids that have a lot of creasing in them, so this does elongate or prolong the wear of my eyeshadow. So I just dab it all over my lids. And as you guys will see in a little bit here, I'm going to use my finger to spread this all over my eyelid, right up to my eyebrow. I do use my fingers a lot for makeup application. I'm sure that as I learn more about the brushes that I have, then I'll be using my fingers less, but for some things I just still prefer using my hands over brushes. I'm not sure if this primer comes in other shades or not, but this shade seems to work for me. It's a nice, just neutral canvas. Next up, I'm using the theBalm Voyage Willkommen eyeshadow in Ombre Voyage. I'm not sure if that's the actual name of the shade, but I just got that sample in my Ipsy bag. And then I take my Shiny M33 mineral powder brush and I use it to apply the eyeshadow all over my lid. And I prefer to use dabbing motions instead of pulling or dragging across the lid, especially with a formula that's this powdery. I do find that it just works better to dab. I love this eyeshadow. It's a really nice warm undertone to it. Most of my other brown eyeshadows have a cool undertone, so this is a nice change for me. And I love how easily this shadow spreads, like how easy it is to blend it. It's probably the most easily blendable eyeshadow that I own. So I'm really intrigued to try more theBalm eyeshadows. So I'm continuing to spread the shadow all over my lid. I'm putting a generous amount of pigmentation on there. God, I love how pigmented this shadow is. I'm just in love with this, guys. Absolutely in love with the shadow. So now I'm cleaning off my brush and I'm using it to just blend out the edges so that it doesn't look as harsh. And again, this eyeshadow blends out like a dream. It blends out even better than the naked eyeshadows, I would say, which is pretty impressive. Alright, so next up is my Naked One palette from Urban Decay. And I'm going to be using the shade Darkhorse. That's me finding it on the palette. So Darkhorse I'm going to place on my outer lids as well as my inner lid, or sorry, outer portion of my lid as well as the inner portion. And that just gives your eyes more dimension, especially in photos where your eyes can get washed out. I like to accentuate my eyes and create more drama in that area. And same with the mascara. You'll see that I really go intense on the mascara. So I personally prefer a more bold, dramatic look for photo shoots. Especially considering that our photo shoot was it was a relatively formal one with the way that we were dressed. So, and again, I'll be blending out the darker color as well, so it doesn't look quite as harsh. But you can already see that there's more dimension to my eye. And moving on to the next eye. So now I'm going to be using my finger to place the shade Virgin on my brow bones. And that's again from the Naked Urban Decay palette. I find that it's a really nice neutral highlight. It's not super crazy, bam in your face, but it gives just enough sheen that when you tilt your head a certain way, especially in a photo, it just looks really flattering. And again, I'm using my fingers just because I find that to be the easiest for me. But you can always use a brush if you like. In fact, I know a lot of people would use a brush instead. So now I'm blending out both shadows so that there's no harsh lines, and I'm blending them up into that highlight area that I just created. And now I'm using that same theBalm eyeshadow that I used in the beginning, and I'm adding more pigmentation to my lid. And now I'm moving on to the Essence Dip Eyeliner in black. I love this eyeliner. It's not waterproof, but it acts as though it is. It never smudges on me. I can almost always pretty much just put it on and just open up my eyes normally and it won't smudge everywhere, even when it's drying. So I prefer this particular type of applicator tip as well. I know some people find it more difficult to use. It did take me some time to figure it out, but I do really like how precise it is. So I'm going to be doing a cat eye and just creating more drama, more definition around that lash line again so that it's visible in photos. And I typically work from the inside corner to the middle and then from the outside to the middle on my right eye. And then you'll see my left eye is a little bit different here. So I'm moving on to mascara. This is mascara number 1 out of 2 that I'll be using. It's the Superhero It Cosmetics mascara. And I always prefer mascara in as black of a shade as possible. Again, for photo shoots, I like a lot of definition for my lashes. I really like this mascara. It gives me a lot of volume and thickness. And I like mascaras that build really well, and this is one of those. So moving on to the Essence Lash Princess False Effect Mascara, again in a black color. And this is just to create more definition, more volume. I like to go over my lashes with multiple layers of mascara. So I really don't like mascaras that don't build on, like the formula just doesn't allow you to build on itself, or you know those mascaras. We've all seen those before where they just kind of stay as they are, and no matter how many coats you put on, it's the exact same thing. So moving on to my Essence Eyebrow Pencil in the shade number 2 Brown. Oh, before that, I do clean off any excess powder or shadow that ended up on my face under my eyes with the Equate Cleansing and Makeup Removing Towelettes. So I always prefer to put my eye makeup on and then the rest of my makeup after because of that. And my apologies, I actually put on my eyebrow pencil on after my foundation. But this is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation in the shade 01 Creamy Vanilla. I absolutely adore this formula. It's not shiny, it's not matte, it's just the perfect texture. It goes on smoothly, doesn't dry too quickly. It is a bit too yellow for me, but I make it work, and as you'll see later, I do put some powder on top as well. So I'm using my CoverGirl Sensitive Skin Pressed Powder in 230 Classic Beige, and I'm using my Shany E18 Cream Eyeshadow Brush for that. And that's just to kind of keep the foundation where it is so that it doesn't smudge around as much. I also have oily skin, so I like to create a more matte finish to my skin. There is just a little bit of glossiness to the foundation as well, so I just make my skin a little bit more matte to, you know, to prepare for any oiliness throughout the day that I may have as well. And now I'm using my Essence Eyebrow Pencil in the shade 2 Brown. And I'm using my spoolie from, again, Shany. It's the Shany B14 spoolie. I really like the hairs in the brush. It really organizes my eyebrow hairs so they're not all over the place as they usually are. And this pencil is pretty good. I don't like it as much as my mascara, or not my mascara, but my gel eyebrow stuff from Essence that also gives my eyebrows color. But this does the job, and that's what I used for the engagement photo shoot. So it's really running out, so that's why it's super tiny. It's a little bit redder than my actual eyebrow color, but again, it works, so I use it. This is the DLS blush in Kitty Pink. As you can see, I've hit pan on it almost, or I'm starting to. Again, another awesome product I got in an Ipsy bag. I use it all the time. It's a very natural, nice color. And for this, I'm using a stippling brush, and it is the, let me see what, I can't remember what this brush is called. It's the F12 Liquid Foundation Buffer Brush. So now I'm using the e.l.f. highlighting brush to put on my absolute favorite highlight, and that is the Milani, or sorry, not the Milani, the Monica Dar Beauty Highlighter in Fantasy. The Fantasy is the shade. I'm clearly pleased with my highlight. And last but not least, I'm putting on my lip color. So I went for a pretty natural color, but still one that defined my lips more and gave me more enhanced beauty. But I am removing the foundation I got on my lips first with my makeup wipes. So this is the Tarte Tartist lip paint in an unknown shade. There's no shade written on it because it was a sample. But I love this liquid lipstick. It does not dry out your lips too much. It stays on pretty good, and the colors are impeccable, so I'm very happy with that as well. And there you have it, the finished look.
So that was my engagement photo shoot look. I tried to replicate it as much as I could and from what I could remember. The one thing that I know I forgot was I forgot to include the setting spray that I used on the day of my photo shoot. So this is the Essence Instant Matte Makeup Setting Spray with Ever Matte Oil Free. So it's supposed to have a matte finish from my understanding. I don't know if this has actually worked for me or not. I've only used it a few times. But I used it on the day of my photo shoot just in case, because I did have my makeup on for a very long time. I actually put it on in the morning, and our photo shoot was kind of in mid to late afternoon, and my makeup stayed on pretty darn well. If you guys have any questions about any of the products that I've used or what products that it was that I used, I will include all of them below in my video or under my video. And if any of you are engaged or are planning an engagement photo shoot, let me know what your makeup look is or what you're planning to do for your makeup look for your photo shoot. I'd be really curious to know. And let me know if you're planning a wedding. Let me know how things have been going for you, because it is a very exciting time, but there's lots to think about as well. So thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you guys soon. Be ready for more videos from me. Bye guys.